Yep, back at it again, baby. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I uploaded. Thanksgiving, happy holidays, everybody. But yeah, man, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. The Falcons continue to suck. They lost to the Saints and the Bucks back to back. Ain't that a bitch? YouTube got me out here telling everybody this thing ain't for kids. And if they see my ugly mug and they're like, "Yeah, I want to look at you, bro. I can't stop you. I'm an attractive ugly person." But nah, this channel is not made for kids. This is just straight sports talk. We're just trying to put it out there and keep it real for y'all. Falcons suck. And yeah, so basically, I just want to talk about how the Falcons suck, and I think I want to say the Hawks suck too. The Hawks are losing like a mother, 4-14 last I checked. I think they beat somebody. They might be 5-14, but this is good for them. They really need to have some growing pains and lose as many games as possible. With this new regime going on here, you blow it up and you start all over again. You're gonna have to go ahead and take some L's and figure out what you're gonna do with your rest of your thing here. And hopefully they let them grow together. But we all know how the Hawks and the Falcons do. They definitely will get good. I can guarantee you they will be good in the next couple of years. And then you'll be like, damn, this team is one player away. One player away. Just one player. You like, man, they one player away. I'm telling you, they're one player away and they're going to trade everybody away. That's how they do it. That's how they roll. It's a terrible strategy, but it's the strategy that we have been accustomed to as Atlanta fans. The Falcons losing to the Bucks and the Saints. The Saints, I saw. The Bucks, I kind of felt like they was going to have a little roll on, like a little 3-game winning streak, get a little confidence about themselves, but they decided to go ahead and lay an egg against the Bucks. And the Bucks looked like they was the best team in the NFL against the Falcons. That lets you know right there that the boys suck. Now, the only problem is, at least with the Hawks, we got some years that we feel like, hey, man, eventually this team is going to turn it around. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Hawks are eventually going to turn it around, and possibly we could produce a pretty decent team, especially with all these young players together. We're learning how to grow together and, learn each other. Falcons, there's no hope. There is no hope. I hate to break it down to you Falcon fans, and I know a lot of them out there. I'll talk to them. I'm in Atlanta, and they be like, yeah, man. I'm like, nah, cuz, this ain't going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to lose. You lost the season. I told you before, earlier on, the season was done. And everybody was like, damn, man, you killing the season already? It's like, yeah, the season is done. What happened with the projections of being a Super Bowl team? That went out the window after the third game. Come on, how are you losing 2 in a row and you trying to make it to the Super Bowl? Then they went on ahead and lost 6 in a row, and that's just not how you make it to the Super Bowl. You just don't do it. You let everybody get a head start, get all gelling and stuff, and you over here losing 6s and 7 games straight. It's just not going to make it happen. So the thing is, at the end of the day, I have no faith in them. I wish that they would figure out something else to do with the stadium at this time, because watching the Dirty Birds stink up the stadium was terrible. I did go to the game. It was awesome. I truly enjoyed myself. Shout out to my main man, Jared Cook, And seeing Matt Ryan get pushed all over the place, I can't front. Even though I went to the game, I got drunk. I was drinking. It was Thanksgiving, and I drank all my Thanksgiving. We didn't cook nothing because, there's only a couple of us here. So we didn't cook nothing, and I just drunk the whole damn Thanksgiving away. And I was drunk as hell down there laughing and talking shit. And I knew that the Falcons was going to lose, I've been teasing the Dominique video, and I don't really feel like looking up the highlights and getting hit with a copyright on my first couple of video streams. So I just basically say it like this. I did some research about Dominique, and how can I say this? Sucking on a level of you don't have nobody to play is one thing. When you don't have nobody on your team, it's like, you know what, man? We picked this guy. He got injured. This guy wanted a trade. We picked all these players, and if they would have stayed with us, we would have had a good team. But what happened with Dominique, I should show you, but it's just so sad. Because, first of all, the Hawks wasn't that bad before Dominique. It wasn't like they was a terrible, terrible team. They had been making it to the playoffs for like a couple of years, fifth seeds, fourth seeds, stuff like that. So they have been going back and forth to the playoffs each year. So boom, the Jazz select Dominique, and then the Hawks they do the smart thing. They trade. Say, give us Dominique. He's a homegrown boy. He don't need to be way out there in Utah. He played at Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So get him here. So they get him over there, right? And I can't lie. The first couple of years, Dominique didn't really do nothing as far as like 20 something points, 8, 9 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? He had like 17 points, 16, 17 points. But also you got to remember at that time, back in that day, a lot of the young boys didn't get a chance to play. They just didn't play young players back then. So it was like Dominique was never going to really get a chance to shine. But once they started playing him and starting him, and he had played himself into the starting lineup, the boy went off. Like from season 3 to like the rest of his career, he ain't never really dropped below 20 again. He was just putting up points and 20 consecutive All-Star appearances, dunk contests. The boy went berserker rage. Like he really showed off. And it's at that point that you have to ask yourself a serious question. Let me sit it for you. Think about this. Who is Dominique's sidekick? When you look at Magic Johnson, let's go with Magic Johnson. This guy played in the 80s too. Magic had Kareem, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper. You know, the list goes on of all the people he played with. A.C. Green, Vlade Divac. Great players, you know, especially James Worthy. That James Worthy and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, hands down, them are the two best players he played with, and they are synonymous with his success. Larry Bird. Larry Bird never played by himself. Larry Bird had Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge. I mean, the list goes on. Dr. J in the 80s, he had Mo Cheeks and Moses Malone for the 4-4-4. Even Hakeem Olajuwon had Ralph Sampson. That was like two players right there. And I mean, eventually he went on to play with other Rockets players. Who else in the 80s? Oh yeah, don't forget about the Bad Boys. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, Bill Laimbeer. The microwave off the bench, you know what I'm saying? Not Dantley. They had Dantley and Mark McGuire. So these are full-fledged teams. I mean, even I mean, I can't say that Clyde the Glide had a lot of players with him, but when you think Clyde the Glide, you got to think Terry Porter, you got to think Jerome Kersey, you got to think Cliff Robinson. Actually, I mean, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant. That's in the '80s. I mean, these teams have full-fledged like up and down the bench, up and down the starting lineup. Yo, just plug him in. This dude can take over by himself. You know, sit this dude down. Sit this number one. Sit this Isaiah down. Sit Michael Jordan down. Give him some rest. Let the team take over. We got Scottie Pippen taking over. We got Joe Dumars taking over. We got Bill Laimbeer taking over. We got all these players taking over when you sit the star down. You know what I'm saying? Now, who do you think about as Dominique's number one sidekick guy? Because Dominique's the alpha male. So who's the number 2 on that squad? I'll give you a second. Yeah. Spud fucking Webb. Nothing against Spud Webb. Nothing against Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers was a decent point guard back in the day, maybe even a little 2 guard. Spud Webb was a phenomenal athlete as a 5'7". He had to play point at that point. And he's leaping up there, dunking over Tree Rollins and stuff like that. But you never gave Dominique anybody to play with. Nobody. Like, think about that. Dominique never had nobody to play with. So how the hell did you expect him to win anything and he ain't got nobody to play with? Carmelo had John Stockton. Then they got Jeff Hornacek. And then they start winning. You know what I'm saying? TMC existed. You know what I'm saying? Dominique is dragging scrubs all the way through the playoffs, deep into the playoffs, deep playoff runs. And yeah, he lost in the first round. I mean, wouldn't you be tired if you done drug somebody for 82 freaking games? Again, I don't want to really take nothing against Spud Webb. But Spud Webb, when he's your second best option, there's a lot going on with your team. I mean, Spud Webb should have been like your third option at the best, third, fourth, and kind of like a novelty player, like a Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson was never your second. When he was, those teams were nice for a moment, but he was never dragging that team to the playoffs. And usually on the teams where Nate Robinson was playing, it was like, got somebody else out here. So, okay, you never give him nobody. That's good and fine. But here's the kicker. This is why Atlanta sports sucks. This is why this channel exists. You trade him. The year Dominique looking like he about to take the fuck over, you trade his ass mid-season for Danny freaking Manning, who didn't even come back and play the next season. You trade away an all-star Hall of Famer for a dude who once he finished the season out, he's like, I'm out of here. Why? Why don't you just keep Neek? Let him play his whole career as a Hawk. What was the point? And Lenny Wilkins argues that, hey man, after we traded Neek, people don't want to talk about the fact that we did win more games. And it's like, Lenny Wilkins, shut the fuck up. Nobody want to hear that shit. No one want to hear about how you won more games. Everybody knows, especially to this point, that you had to have a damn superstar in order to take your team to the championship level. And you got rid of the superstar. Yeah, you have Mookie Blaylock and this cat and that cat, but you got rid of the superstar. What is your major malfunction? You idiots. So in a nutshell, the way they did Dominique, the Hawks don't deserve to win until this new rookie class grows and develops. Again, because we're going to have to reboot the system. Again, yeah, the Horford team was a good reboot, but this is another reboot because you fucked over Dominique, you sorry sons of bitches. Peace out.